Last weekend was the Japanese Grand Prix. A lot of things happened and we had a very long red flag. So let's see what Reddit reacted to it. And instantly we're coming into Reddit, but it's not talking about what's it called, the F1 Grand Prix, but it's talking about something which happened yesterday as of recording this. But let's read the meme first. In this moment he realized that he paid with the company card. So if you don't know what this referencing is, that the FIA, they made a report on which teams overspent and which didn't for the 2021 season, and they said 9 teams complied with the regulations. You had all of the teams, but you had Williams, which this is before, this wasn't announced today, but they were late to fill out something, so they had to pay a fine. Then Aston Martin did something incorrect, and they will have to pay a fine. But Red Bull have a minor overspend, spent by minor amount, which is less than, I think it was $7 million. I'm not so sure, but what this means is that they will get, I think it was a fine, they can get points deducted, they can get a few minor things, no disqualification. But we'll see what the FIA think, and we'll see what the other F1 teams say on this. But why they're at the food court, or food place if you don't understand this, well, in this picture it's just between teams, but it came rumored that they overspent by between $1 and $2 million, and most of the things were on people being sick, and so they had to bring in other stuff, and also, what was it called, food, catering. But we'll see what happens on it. It's an ongoing situation and nothing is confirmed, so we'll see what happens. So this just evolves on my thing saying that Red Bull this is the cap, so other salaries, transport, catering, manufacturing, R&D going over. No, catering going over. So that's just evolving a bit on what I've been saying. What was he cooking? Never ask a woman her age, a Red Bull caterer salary, and Toto Wolff how he knew that there were teams over the budget. So this is very interesting. And if you want to know what I mean, is because in the Singapore Grand Prix, which were 1 week ago, no, technically 2 weeks ago, but he was discussing like, oh, Red Bull have overspent, we know Red Bull have overspent, Ferrari also. But the thing is, we're wondering how they knew this. So we'll see if it comes out how maybe they knew it, but it sounds like maybe they have a mole on the inside. So we'll see what happens there. The $1.2 million smash burger on where Red Bull books. So they're saying the Red Bull incident, no, Verstappen incident with Hamilton in, what's it called, in Silverstone, it says it right there, was the burger. But yeah, you can really see on the nasty incident where it crashed into the wall. I don't know if this was the side or not, but I'm not sure. But yeah, this was an incident which happened. Battle of the most anticlimactic championship ending. Penalizes rival to decide championship. Yeah, that's what's happened. Cancel last 3 races to decide championship. So now we're going back to Japan. So if you didn't know, on the last lap at the last chicane, third last corner of the circuit, Leclerc went straight on. He cut onto the circuit again and blocked Perez, which meant he got a penalty, which meant that Verstappen won. If you want a more detailed review into my thoughts on the Japanese Grand Prix, head over to my last video before this, which is on F1 News. It has a thumbnail of Christian Horner with a lot of dollar signs, so you want to visit. And if you don't understand this thing with what's it called, Jamie Chadwick and and the W Series, is that W Series is a female racing series. Racing same time as F1, not at the same, they don't race at the same time physically, but they race on the circuit the same weekends. Like I got to see them in Silverstone. It was very interesting. But they use F3 machinery, and they've raced for a few years now, but I think 3 years now for this year, and Jamie Chadwick has won all of them. She has won more than half of the races. She was really dominant in Silverstone, I'm just saying, and she's a really good driver. Not just female driver. But W Series have had problems with funding, which meant that they have had to cancel the last 3 races this season, which is a really bad thing to happen, because I feel like this is as Jess, I don't remember her last name, talked on with the Last Lap podcast with FNG and Tomo F1. What's it called? She talked about W Series and there, so I think that's a very good video for the watch. But we'll see what happens with W Series, because I think it's really bad that it's gone, but hopefully they come back next year. The real reason Red Bull broke the budget cap. Hold on. Latifi will be getting a lifetime supply of Red Bull. Yeah, so this is just quoting, what's it called? The Abu Dhabi 2021 incident. I won't go more into that, dudes, for your own research. And they have Gotifi strikes again, taking Red Bull down, one Red Bull at a time. Yes, shake my head. If spray is bad, why don't FIA do this? And if you don't know, these are mud flaps or mud guards, which you have on rally cars, for example, or trucks, so the spray doesn't affect so much what comes out. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea maybe, but will induce a lot of drag, and then the teams, because that's the problem with engineers. And I can talk about this because I am not an engineer, but I'm I'm trying to become one. But if you give them no rules, they will like if you say take this, and then if you just give an engineer something, they'll try and find the loophole, they'll try to minimize everything, and they'll mainly look at performance. But as we have seen with Hamilton in Baku, they really wanted to just look for performance and don't think a lot about safety, but now there are regulations on safety. Because if they didn't have regulations on safety, just search up Group E Rally. That's a very good example when engineers don't have regulations on safety, or very minimal ones. So I feel like mud flaps, or how you want to call them, mud guards, wouldn't be a good idea. Or they can make it like the caterer, where it's like on top of the tire. So a bit maybe like World Endurance Championship, but that changes Formula 1 entirely. So we'll see if the FIA comes up with a fix. You're telling me that Red Bull spent millions on this crap, and it's some weird box food, and you have Gordon Ramsay, getting disgusted by it, which is usually what happens. FIA Masterclass. We set $140 million cost cap. We find out the team has broken it. We give them a fight. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you like spending money, dude? Spend the whole pack of money. Why don't you? Yeah, so this is the problem, which will probably happen. Because if the team, let's say, for example, we can talk about the Red Bull situation, they have broken the cost cap, which means that they have a lot of money, but we already knew that because they're Red Bull. Then if they get a fine for overspending, they'll just say, oh, we paid the fine. But then, if you think about this, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren maybe, if they get money, all of those teams with a ton of money will just splash the cash, overspend the budget cap by this amount, and if they do that, oh well, we'll just get the fine and we can pay for it. So this is where the integrity of the FIA's decision making will be decided upon again, because at Abu Dhabi, which were for Hamilton fans, and obviously FIA lost integrity with Hamilton fans, a bit with me because I'm one, not as much as the Twitter people, but also if they just give Red Bull a fine here, they will lose the integrity of decision making with all fans, because it might just be Red Bull affected and they might think, oh, it's just talking about Hamilton. But think about this, if one team starts overspending and just get the fine, other teams like Mercedes and everybody will start overspending if they get the fine. Oh well, they can pay for it. So we'll get an even bigger difference. So I mean, if they just give a fine, it breaks the whole budget cap system. So this is the thing, they need to put an end to overspending. So I feel like they should do the most controversial option by making Verstappen lose his World Championship, because that's what happened with the why they overspent. Why they overspent. So they should do that, in my opinion. But what do you think? Comment down below. A fan who just wants to watch some racing with Joe Drama. Can you stop breaking the rules for 5 minutes? FIA obviously with Michael Massey. Aston Martin, as I've said, but they also have the the copying Mercedes. Ferrari with the engines. Williams, as I stated before, with them sending in things. Red Bull, obviously, we have talked about a lot of Mercedes. I don't know what they mean. Yeah, quietly hiding away. McLaren hiding away 2007. Just search up Spygate, biggest sporting find of all history of all sport. But I don't understand the Mercedes one, because obviously I'm a Mercedes fan and I should probably know about it. But let's see the comments here talking about. Oh, F1 without drama, that's quite literally never been a thing. Hunt Lauda, yes. Watch Rush, that's a very good video. Senna Prost, obviously. Hakkinen Schumacher, I think a bit less dramatic. Vettel Alonso, a bit less. Hamilton Verstappen, Hamilton Rosberg, 2. Don't forget Hamilton Alonso. F1 drivers are natural enemies, like Hamilton Alonso, Hamilton Rosberg, Hamilton Verstappen. Damn it, Hamilton in Rude, fuck, that doesn't make no sense. What about Alonso Piquet? Yeah, so just saying that drama always happens, but please inform me of this Mercedes breaking the rules and watch. But they also this one, Verstappen Hungary's driver Horner's worked with. That explains a lot. But what do we have here? POV, I'm an Italian and I'm the only Red Bull fan among 50 on place. I bought a gift to the deposit this morning, a pack of Red Bull. Couldn't you take a minute ago to support Alacantara, but I guess giving everyone new jackets is pointless. What do you mean? I'm always happy to spend on this. Yeah, that's a bit cool here, dramatic. So you have Red Bull employees and Mercedes employees. Here you have, oh, what is it? Officials of Suzuka Circuit offered separate trophy for points finished in a tractor. And there you go with the different thing with the tractor. So let me just talk about it because there are no memes on it. Pierre Gasly, most vocal about it, went past the truck, but so did all other drivers behind the safety car. The thing was, they were going on the right, going a long right-hander, I should say for you, that's where, but on the left was a truck. And what's the problem with having a truck there? Well, obviously, what's it called? You can hit it and die, like Jules Bianchi did. A bit different situation, but it was at Spa, it was very rainy. But what did the FIA do? Pierre Gasly sped, so we give him a penalty, and we don't care about that situation. But then obviously all of the F1 teams start talking, so yeah, they start to think about it. Because I'm just wondering, why didn't the FIA do anything after Jules Bianchi's death? Well, they implemented the halo, but that's not enough. But that was at the side of so yeah, it's just a big grey area, but it's good that they're launching an investigation into it. In my opinion. Hamilton fans after Max won his second with drivers, that only counts as well. Well, we'll see what happens with the one last year. And yes, I believe it should still just be one, World Drivers' Championship. But I'm not saying that Red Bull did anything wrong in Abu Dhabi. It was Michael Massey did anything wrong. And if you want to know who, and obviously we know Twitter is the most vocal about it, and this is currently Twitter. They have Red Bull trying to hold their ears, and they have Twitter all exploding. And I'm just there. I'm not a toxic F1 fan on Twitter. I hopefully don't come as toxic. But Twitter I like to watch a few times, but it's getting really toxic now, and everybody's just very rude. So I feel like we should just, what's it called? Take it easy. So this is my last meme of the day, but this also explains it a bit. So I have Twitter, Hashtag Hotcap Staffen. I think Hotcap. World Lab 58, which I believe we should do. But that's obviously what they call Abu Dhabi. No legit championship since 2020. Mercedes won the Constructor Championship. I would say that was legit. You have FIA Clowns, Human Error Champion, obviously. He is, because the FIA said that the FIA corrupt, so I don't know, but it is that they agree. Favoritism, I'm not just saying it for Mercedes, or Red Bull, I'm just saying for certain things in certain situations. If the champion Max crashed up and illegal got Max for stuff, I don't care, these slander names are hilarious. But, what's it called? What do I think about the Japanese company? Well, it was quite interesting. You had obviously the rain, it was not the best race, I should say. But where are we going here next? Well, if you don't know, we're going to, or I don't know what hand you should do, right or left. We're going to the bald eagle country of United States of America, and we're going to Austin, Texas, to Circuit of the Americas, which is a very nice circuit in my opinion. And it's in a few weeks, so what videos you want to see? Comment down below. I have a few ideas. We'll see what happens with them, but hopefully you will like my video ideas. Maybe one on the circuit of the Americas, maybe one which has to do with my hometown of Stockholm. We'll see what happens. But until then, I've been Racer Legend, you've been my amazing viewers. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.